Working at McDonald's might not seem like a glamorous job. The pay isn't high, the hours are long, and you're on your feet all day. What you might not know, however, is that Mickey D's has some pretty weird rules that employees must follow, or risk being fired. Many McDonald's are open 24 hours for drive-thru service, but most close their dining rooms to the public late at night. This allows the restaurants to run a skeleton crew and sufficiently clean and prep the interiors for the morning rush. Once the interior is closed, it is closed. McDonald's employees aren't supposed to let anyone in, even paying customers who just want to use the bathroom. Part of the challenge is in keeping the bathrooms clean with just a few employees on the clock, but part is also a safety issue. Store managers don't want people coming in and out, especially when there aren't many customers, because it leaves the store at risk for burglaries. This rule made national headlines in 2011 when a 7-year McDonald's crew member got fired after making an exception for NFL Pro Bowl running back Adrian Peterson. According to an article in Inc., the McDonald's employee initially turned down the Minnesota Vikings' request to use the bathroom. However, after Peterson revealed who he was, the employee went ahead and let him in. Unfortunately, when the employee showed up to work the next day, she was fired for breaking the rule. There is a happy ending to the story, however. After the media caught wind of her firing and it started to make headlines, the employee was quickly rehired. Be honest, you hope the people handling your food at McDonald's are washing their hands frequently, but you may not realize that McDonald's staff policies require employees to wash their hands at least once an hour with antimicrobial soap, and in some countries, at least once every 30 minutes.
So that's like 2 seconds per finger.
I guess you could say that.
It's not clear why this rule varies country to country, but in the United Arab Emirates, the standard is at least once an hour, while in Great Britain, it's at least every 30 minutes. If that has you wondering what the rule is in the United States, you're not alone. Sadly, there doesn't seem to be a standard guideline that all United States McDonald's employees are told to follow. In a subreddit group titled McLounge, which is dedicated to McDonald's employees, a question was posed about updated hygiene standards related to the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. Answers from different employees varied from changing gloves after every customer, using hand sanitizer after every customer, washing hands every 15 minutes, washing hands every 30 minutes, or some combination thereof. The good news is, it appears personal hygiene is strictly enforced. The bad news is, it's not 100% clear what the hygiene standards are. For any Generation X child reminiscing about childhood birthday parties at McDonald's, it probably goes without saying that Ronald McDonald most likely plays a significant role in those memories.
Hi, how are you?
And while the bigger-than-life clown has gradually faded from public view with articles referencing his slow demise dating back to the early 2000s, his character was so well known that in the 1970s the company hired a, quote, boss clown, whose sole responsibility it was to hire and train the men who don the big shoes and bright wig. The first boss clown, AJ, penned a book titled Ronald and How. This book detailed a slew of rules that all Ronald McDonald actors must strictly abide by, most of which are still enforced today. One such rule is that actors must maintain the illusion that Ronald is in fact real. As such, these actors can only respond to the name Ronald McDonald while in costume. It's pretty standard practice that restaurant employees aren't supposed to give away free food. But some restaurants have exceptions, like offering a free coffee to police officers or other first responders. McDonald's is not one of those restaurants. Okay, so very occasionally they'll offer a company-wide exception, like in April and May 2020 when they offered free thank you meals to healthcare workers and first responders in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. But generally, McDonald's enforces the no-food rule rigidly and without exception, with those who dare to break the rule facing the potential of immediate firing. Take, for instance, an example cited in Dutch Daily News, in which a McDonald's employee was fired after giving a colleague an extra slice of cheese on her hamburger without charging for the slice. Ultimately, the fired employee took McDonald's to court and won a small settlement, with the Dutch judge stating that termination was too harsh an outcome for such a slight offense. So while firing might be off the table for giving away a slice of cheese, if you have friends who work at McDonald's, don't expect any freebies while they're on shift. Management clearly takes all types of corporate theft very, very seriously. It's late, maybe you're a little drunk and you're hungry. There's a Mickey D's right around the corner, and because you know better than to drive while under the influence, why not just walk through the drive-thru to order a burger, some fries, and a milkshake? Well, there's a rule against that. Chances are, if you try to walk through the drive-thru, you'll be turned away.
Hey, good morning. Caroline, this is not a walk-through, it's a drive-through.
According to the McDonald's website, crew members are not supposed to serve pedestrians at the same point where they serve vehicles. Apparently, it's for safety reasons, which, when you think about it, makes sense. If a car is pulling up to a drive-thru late at night and doesn't see someone standing in the drive-thru lane, it's an accident waiting to happen. That said, the website also notes that they're aware of pedestrians' desire for late-night grub fests, and as such have installed some pedestrian walk-up windows at restaurants that operate 24-hour drive-thrus. That way, when the dining room is closed for the night, but the drive-thru is still open, you may still be able to order your chicken McNuggets and Quarter Pounder if you're so inclined. According to a 2019 article in Mental Floss, there are more than 36,000 sets of golden arches worldwide, staffed by more than 2 million McDonald's employees. For any food corporation that has that many restaurants and that many employees, it's absolutely essential to figure out how to effectively deliver consistency to customers who expect every McDonald's hamburger to taste exactly the same, regardless of location. One of the ways McDonald's does this is with strict enforcement of food construction. Every ingredient must be added in the exact order described by McDonald's corporate office. In the Mental Floss article, one department manager explains that meats, cheeses, and sauces must be arranged in a specific order, and failing to do so can make a big difference in customer satisfaction. For instance, if the cheese isn't placed between the 2 burger patties in a McDouble, the cheese won't melt, which more or less ruins the perfect McDouble experience. That said, people who aren't good at paying attention to detail may struggle to keep their jobs at McDonald's. The whole point of hitting the drive-thru at McDonald's is to quickly be served your food within the comfort of your car. It's simple. You pull up to the menu board, place your order, pull up to the service window, and receive your food. So if you've ever pulled up to the window and have been asked to pull forward and park to wait for your order, you may have been somewhat irritated. Why add another step to the process of receiving your food? Well, according to an article on Mental Floss, McDonald's restaurants are expected to have a fast turnover of customers through the drive-thru. In fact, many stores have sensors that time each customer's progression from the menu board to the service window, and restaurants are expected to serve each drive-thru customer within a set period of time. If an order requires more preparation and is interfering with this rate of turnover, drive-thru employees will ask you to park to wait for your food. If this extra step is too much of a hassle for you, try not to order menu items that take longer to prepare, like pies or grilled chicken. For speedy drive-thru service, ordering a basic Big Mac is probably the way to go. Chances are you're pretty familiar with McDonald's ongoing Monopoly promotion, which encourages customers to collect Monopoly-inspired game pieces attached to drink cups and fry containers for the chance to win various prizes. You'd think it would be pretty easy for McDonald's employees to pocket a few pieces here or there in an effort to score some extra freebies. But what happens if an employee does this and is caught? Well, it's grounds for dismissal. According to company rules, employees aren't allowed to touch, open, or redeem Monopoly pieces, although it does happen. In a Reddit thread featuring questions to and answers from McDonald's employees, one crew member detailed an incident in which a coworker was promptly fired after trying to redeem stolen game pieces at the same store where he was employed. Another employee, meanwhile, wrote about a coworker who actually got away with his thefts. However, management quickly realized game pieces were missing and tightened up security to prevent more pieces from walking away. If you've seen McMillions, you know McDonald's wants to keep its Monopoly security tight.
The FBI told us the game pieces are being stolen.
You may not know this, but there is an unofficial McDonald's secret menu item with a hybrid sandwich that is well known amongst in-the-know customers. According to Hack the Menu, the popular menu hack is a McChicken sandwich that's placed directly inside of a McDouble. Both items are on the restaurant's value menu, so you essentially get a giant burger featuring chicken and beef patties, all for about $2. For this reason, this menu hack is an incredibly popular order. But to be clear, this menu hack is not a McDonald's sanctioned sandwich, so the company's corporate office is not a fan of people trying to make it a thing. According to a McDonald's employee Ask Me Anything Reddit thread, when asked about the corporate policy regarding this sandwich, most respondents said the official policy is to decline the order. Depending on the McDonald's location, however, you might be served without so much as an eyebrow raise. Then again, you can always ask politely for a McChicken placed between a McDouble, since that's literally what you're ordering. If you're concerned about how long the burger you ordered has been sitting under the warming lights, you don't have anything to worry about. For one thing, at busy McDonald's restaurants, the turnover for popular menu items is quick. So almost as soon as new items are prepared, they're being sold. But if you happen to visit the Golden Arches when it's quiet, or the restaurant you frequent is slow, you still don't have much to worry about. McDonald's corporate office has very strict rules about how long each prepared item can sit before being tossed. According to a very detailed Reddit thread with answers from a former McDonald's employee, any burger made with the regular meat had to be thrown out every 15 minutes. But burgers made with more high-quality beef could be kept around a little longer. So, for instance, quarter-pounder meat can usually be served for up to 30 minutes, while Angus beef is good for up to 60 minutes. Chicken nuggets would get tossed after 20 minutes along with the filet-o-fish. The respondent went on to detail all of the rules regarding shelf life for everything from condiments to oil, making it clear that well-managed stores keep strict tabs on food safety and quality. Sure, there are hacks for getting fresher food, like ordering French fries without salt, but there's no reason you should feel the need to use them. You're almost always guaranteed freshness when eating at McDonald's. Check out one of our newest videos right here! Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite fast food chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.